Hello and welcome to the epic children's book rap challenge that everyone has been waiting for with bated breath. We have some very special people here with us today because nobody wants to see me attempt this, and I certainly can't blame them. We have our very own Malik 16 coming live from the West Coast. Malik 16, how are you doing today?
I am doing okay. I am literally nervous.
Well, we're such a judgmental group. The Virginia Children's Book Festival family. We're so judgmental. We're just ready to critique away. And we also have a very special guest. Mr. J is with us, author of Ricky the Rock and Roll. Hello, Mr. J, coming to us live from a warehouse in New Jersey.
Thank you very much for having me. Very excited to be here.
Oh, this is wonderful. Well, I don't know. Oh, I did say, again, we always have a little conversation before we get started. And I said, I spent all this time making this promo that I've got to play it. So let's play it and then we'll get to it.
All right, como tá?
I will say the Pout Pout Fish was unavailable today. I tried. I got no response.
Were they unavailable, or were they just afraid to go against me in person?
I'm sure they were just frightened. I mean, fish scare so easily that I'm sure that it just frightened, swam under a rock. I am positive. Now, Malik, you want to tell us a little bit about how you have prepared for this epic challenge?
Believe it or not, I actually took notes and I did some transcription. So couple visits to Barnes and Noble, and Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll was my personal choice. We had a whole list. Juanita's personal choice. She slipped some Shel Silverstein in there, and apparently it didn't make the cut. We had some Spike Lee and some classic rhyming children's books. I think even Miss Caterpillar or Hungry Caterpillar, but Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll was the first choice, and I wanted to challenge myself to see if we could recite this entire book in a nuanced way. And what a surprise to have the esteemed author of said book.
I know, and one who can beat out Spike Lee. I mean, and Shel Silverstein. Jay, this is a huge day. Huge day. We need to make an award.
It is. I will. I think just being here is award enough. So I will take that with me, and I appreciate it. I don't know if that I can really stand in the same limelight as Spike Lee and Shel Silverstein, but as long as I can be somewhere in the shadows, I'm a happy guy.
There we go. I'm gonna attempt. Now, people, you're gonna have to live with me. I'm gonna attempt to bring Malik up a little bit bigger. I'm gonna attempt it. Wrong. Let's see. Wrong. I don't know that it's gonna work. I don't know, so Malik, you might have to be small screen because I want to see Jay's reaction to all this.
Oh yeah, this is
while it's happening.
Jay, right. If you wouldn't mind giving us a little bit of the background and inspiration for this book and the series that came from it.
Surely. So the book is Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll, and I wrote this book about 3.5 years ago. And I'm not going to talk about the inspiration for it yet. I'll actually get to that maybe after you're finished. I know I'll read a short poem that I wrote about this book to let everyone know exactly what it's about. And but I love the characters. Ricky is just a great character. He's kind of followed through in other books that I've done, and it was fun to write about characters that. There's nothing really more lifeless than rocks. And so to be able to bring those kind of characters to life where, as a reader, you actually care about the feelings of a rock and what's going on in their lives. That was a lot of fun, and I've loved seeing how the storyline here and the message behind it has really touched and affected people. I get letters and emails from kids all the time about, what the rock has meant to them. And they show me the rocks they painted. And I've got kids who have taken rocks from outside in their garden, brought them inside, and they've named them all. And, it's been a great deal of fun. So, I really can't wait to hear, what you're going to do to my story. And I have no doubt it's going to be a dramatic improvement over what I wrote. So I'm dying to hear the rap version of Ricky the Rock.
Okay.
So I think to be safe, Malik, I'm going to mute myself and Jay can mute himself, and that way you're free to do whatever you wish.
Okay. No pressure at all. I have cue cards. I literally have cue cards queued up. And what I wanted to do is do what we would call two different flows, right? So two different rhyme patterns over two different beats, but in the same story. So it's almost like going into the original to the remix. And so the first half is going to be the way the kids rap nowadays. The teens that we work with and in the VCBF every season in the fall, they do a great job of teaching us older people, what they call old heads, what's new and what's trending. And so there's a new style of rap that a lot of the older people are like, what is this? And I'm going to adapt that for the beginning, for the first half. And then for the second half, I'm going to do more of a traditional cadence that I think you older folk can keep up with. and so that's the challenge that I'm presenting here for myself and everyone else. And we're going to start with a beat. Y'all tell me if you can hear that pretty clearly. Okay. I got my book here. So I made a little chorus out of it. And it goes, Ricky the Rock, that couldn't roll. Ricky the Rock, that couldn't roll. Rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll. Here we go. Hey, over the lake and out past the bay was a green grassy hill where the rocks came to play. They would race the top and taking the view, then roll their way down the race to the dude. It was Kip and Pip, Chester and Marvin the Boulder. Ignatius played too, though he was much older. And the group called the Pebbles never ever sat still, zigzagging their way up and over the hill. Kai was a meteor riding out from this planet, and Maya was lava, but taken for granted. Stu was the smart one, Parker the clown, and Grumpy Yogi would roll around with a frown. Gabby was sassy, Alicia flair, Emma was giggly and her had black hair. But the one trait that seemed to be shared by them all was that every rock there was shaped like a ball. And because they were round, they could easily roll through the grass, past the lake, and up over the nose. So, except for poor Ricky, he quietly sat. Cause you see, Ricky couldn't roll cause one side was flat. His friends didn't get it. Come roll, they would chant. So Ricky Trapper replied, I'm sorry, but I can't. The rocks were determined. The sure they could solve Ricky's flat-sided problem and help him revolve. So Marvin the Boulder with his impressive physique carried Rick all the way to the hill's grassy peak. Then he pushed him downhill, yelling, keep rolling, kid. But Rick didn't roll. He just kind of slid. Well, the rocks weren't done, not by a mile. Surely the next try would get Rick to smile. They stuck rubber balls all over Rick, using big gobs of glue to get him to stick. They were proud of themselves. This would work, they announced. He still couldn't roll. Now he just sort of bounce, 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 bounce. Ricky the Rock, they couldn't roll. Ricky the Rock, they couldn't roll. Rock and roll, y'all. Rock and roll, y'all. Rock and roll, y'all. Now we're going to switch the beat up. I love it. And it's going to go. So that was the young style. They tend to go a little faster. And our story continues. Well, they pushed and they pulled, trying every which way to get Rick to roll with body end of the day. Nothing that worked, just like Rick expected, and he ended up feeling depressed and dejected. It's no use, Ricky sighed. It just ain't a way. So I sit up to the side and watch you all play. But his friends wouldn't quit. They said, we're here for you, brother, and we'll get you to roll one way or another. So they pondered and thought, each train in his brain, till they looked up and saw it was starting to rain. Hey, and that's when it hit that smart song named Stu, Eureka, he shouted. I know just what to do. He explained to them how they would get Rick to tumble. My plan is pure genius. Stu wasn't that humble. So they carried our hero down the road about a mile to the lake where they gathered up mud they could pile. On the flat side of Rick, creating a mound that they shaped, smoothed, and sculpted until it was round. Then after the rain with the sun in the sky, they left them to bake till the mud was all dry. They gathered the vines in one colorful feather. They wrapped around Rick to keep it together. When the last night was tired and the work was all done, the only step left was for Rick to have fun. They stood back and watched, feeling nervous and tense, as Rick breathed in deep with increasing suspense. He moved slowly at first, testing out his new mode. And then for the first time, Ricky the Rock rolled. So Bria the ladybug, who had been there from the start, felt a surge of pure joy swell up in her heart. She thought as she watched her friends play on the hill, there's always a way if there's always a will. Then she said to herself as Ricky rolled down the slope, when you're surrounded by love, you always have hope. That's Ricky the Rock. That couldn't roll. Ricky the Rock. That couldn't roll. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. That's it.
Wow.
Take it away, Jay.
Wow, that was insane. That was the best thing I've ever heard in my entire life. That was so cool. I think I'm a rap fan now. That was amazing.
I'll tell you one thing. We may be the only book festival in the entire world that has a resident rapper, and I have never been more happy about it. I mean, this is just like the most amazing. That was so good, Malik. That was so
awesome.
good.
Thank you. I'll take it. I'll take it. I was nervous. I think I shook a little. I wonder what the kids would think of the way I did the newer style, because it really is this kind of like yo-yo rap thing. So this is me, learning as I go. But,
oh my gosh. Well, I can see from Broadcast Central here, I can see comments people are making, and people are loving it. I mean, all over. They want a dance movie made. I see that from, I'm trying to see who said that. Achilles said that. We have so many hearts and applause. I mean, people are loving it. I don't know how Pout Fish is going to stand up to this. I don't have any idea.
Well, I don't have two different versions for Pout Pout Fish. I can tell you that,
Well,
the is here, so we got, two beats from Mr. J.
That was awesome. When you get the Grammy for that, I want to take it into it.
Cool.
So Mr. J, you were going to read the poem that you have about the book. You ready to do that?
Yeah, sure. So, a lot of people had reached out to me after the book was written, and it got out there to a lot of schools and a lot of students, and a lot of people had reached out asking me, what was Ricky actually about? And I'll go into schools and I'll speak to 600-700 kids at a time, and I'll talk to them and I'll say, what do you think Ricky was about? And all the hands go up, and everyone says, it's about friendship, and it absolutely is. It's about how to be a good friend and how to be kind to people. And I'll say, what else is it about? And more hands will go up, and it's about not giving up and perseverance. And we'll talk about the importance of never giving up and trying until you get what you want to succeed with. And then I'll ask one more time, what else do you think it's about? And at that point, all the hands go down. So I thought it was important to let everyone know what Ricky the Rock is actually about, and because there's actually a little more to the story. And I wrote another book called Do Pebbles Eat Chili? And this one is basically a book of rhymes, almost like a Shel Silverstein, where the sidewalk ends sort of book, but all the rhymes and the stories in here include the rock characters that we met in Ricky the Rock and other books after that. And the last page is a page called Behind the Book. And you can see there's a picture of myself holding my daughter. And I wanted to explain to everyone what Ricky the Rock was actually about. So I will read this to you. I'm not going to be able to rap it. It's not going to sound anywhere near as good as what Malik just did. So forgive me for that, but I will do my best. So it's called Behind the Book. I want to divulge, so you all know the score, that Ricky the Rock was a loose metaphor. Ricky can't roll because one side is flat, but there's really far more to the story than that. The truth is that Ricky's a child who can't walk. And unlike some people, his rock friends don't balk. They want him to roll, and they help him to play, like teachers and therapists do every day. It's a tale of persistence, a short book of hope, for families who live at the end of their rope. I know what they go through when dreams are restricted, and you fear of a future that can't be predicted. I wanted that book to act as a letter letting those parents know that things will get better. I created Brave Ricky and gave writing a whirl, because that child who can't walk is my own little girl. So, and that's actually Bria, the ladybug, who's actually appears on every page of every book that I write. That's who that's named after. And I wanted, there are so many books out there about kids with disabilities, and in a way that I feel is almost sort of like depressing. And I wanted to write a book that was really hopeful and lets parents like myself know that, if you keep on trying and you have your family and your friends and your teachers and doctors and aides, and just keep on trying. Some things will work and some things won't work, but keep on persisting, and you will start to see more positives than negatives, and you'll start to see progression with your children, because these children are just so amazing that they're worth not giving up on.
Now, does she like rap?
She I've been trying to get her into classic and to metal. She seems to like Beyonce, so I did what I could, but
smart girl. Well, now she's got something else to get her started. She is. I mean, how many kids can say they have had their very own book about them wrapped? Just for
not
this.
A lot.
I mean, hey, she's out there.
And Malik, I can guarantee you now have 2 more fans, both myself and my daughter.
That's so awesome. I really appreciate it. I mean, the message behind your book was the main reason why I chose it. It's just been a standout story as long as it's been out, and I appreciate you sharing that very, very personal poem and letting everyone know, the inspiration behind it.
Well, thank you for giving me a chance to share it. I appreciate that.
That's awesome.
Switching gears now, Jay, are you ready to turn on your judgmentship here and watch Pout Pout Fish try to take charge of this whole thing? I don't know.
You know what? If Pout Pout Fish comes ahead, I will congratulate it with grace. I have read Pout Pout Fish to my daughter many times a night. It's a great book. I appreciate what that author has done. So if I'm going to lose to someone, I would like to lose to a book like the Pout Pout Fish.
There you go.
I'm okay with that.
He's an author and a gentleman. I tell you, that was a very diplomatic response.
I'm running for mayor next year.
Very good. I'm going to mute myself. We got to get ready for the Pout Pout Fish. All right, Malik.
Okay, here we go. Pout Pout Fish. Pout Pout Fish doesn't get the book because, again, the author isn't here. So I got my handy dandy cue cards, and it doesn't get a beat switch. But let's see what we do. Okay. Deep in the water where the fish hang out, live a gloomy swimmer with an ear per pout. I'm a pout pout fish with a pout pout face, so I spread dreary rivers all over the place like blah 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 blah. See, it goes to the beat, blah 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 blah. I know some people like blah blah blah. Okay, so. Along comes a crab with a wide-winning grin and a pearl of advice for a pal to take in. Hey, Mr. Fish, with your crosstown frown, don't you think it's time to turn it upside down? Says the fish to his friend. Nice thought, Mr. Clam. I hear what you're saying, but it's just the way I am. I'm a pout pout fish with a pout pout face. I spread dreary worries all over the place, like blah, blah, blah. Along comes a jellyfish, he floats through the ocean. His tentacles are trailing in a gentle locomotion. Hey, Mr. Fish, with your daily scowl, I wish you wouldn't greet us all with a grimace and a growl. Says the fish to his friend, Mr. Jelly, I agree. I'd like to be more friendly, but it isn't up to me. I'm a pout pout fish with a pout pout face, and I spread dreary worries all over the place, like blah, 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 blah. Or some people like blah, blah. Look, so along comes a squid, quite a slender squiggy sight. She's squirmy, she's squelchy, she's slightly impolite. Hey, Mr. Fish, you kaleidoscope a mope. How about a smile, a little joy, a little hope? Says the fish to his friend, Mr. Squid. I would try, but I haven't a choice. Take a look and you'll see why. I'm a pout pout fish with a pout pout face. I spread dreary worries all over the place, like blah, blah, blah. Well, along comes an octopus with 8 great arms, covered on the underside with tiny second charms. Hey, Mr. Fish, let me tell it to you straight. Your hokey pokey soaking is an unattractive trait. Says the fish to his friend, Mr. 8 Macho. With a mouth like mine, I'm destined to be glum. I'm a pout pout fish with a pout pout face. I spread dreary worries all over the place, like blah, blah, blah. I'm a pout fish with a pout pout face, and I spread drearies all over the place like blub, blub, blub. Now let's do it to the beat, like blub, 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 blub. Blub, blub, blub. Boy, I hope there's some kids watching. It's not all adults. This is silly. Blub, 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 blub. Now, along comes a fish in the silent silver shimmer. The gang has never seen before this bright and brilliant swimmer. She approaches Mr. Fish, but instead of saying hi, she plants a kiss on his pad and then swims away. Mr. Fish astounded. Mr. Fish aghast. He's stone-faced like a statue and blinks. Let me do that over. She approaches Mr. Fish, but instead of saying hey, she plants a kiss on his pout and she swims away. Mr. Fish is astounded. Mr. Fish is just aghast. He's stone-faced like a statue, and at last he says, I had it all wrong. I should have knew it all along. I'm a kiss fish with a kiss face for spreading cherries all over the place. So I smooch, 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 smooch. He said, I'm a kiss fish with a kiss face, and I spread cherries all over the place. So I smooch, and I smooch, and I smooch. And that's the Pout Pout Fish.
I cannot imagine a more epic battle than this.
I might have to go for that one.
That's only because I gave it, I tried to give both their little built-in chorus, great. That
was incredible.
Oh my gosh, Malik, you are so talented. You are so talented. And these books, I mean, lend themselves so, I love it. I mean, this was so great. And now it gives parents a break. They can be like, hold on, kids, at bedtime, I'm going to go brush my teeth and play this video for you. And I just feel like you've just created a whole new thing here. I'm so excited.
We might have to incorporate this in some of our workshops, but I'm going to dedicate a lot of these to memory. I think rap performance always sounds better when it's just by heart. If this was I think all of us have those rhyming books from our childhood that we could at least recite half of it just off memory,
Yeah.
So,
I got to tell you, as usual, I forgot to say half the stuff I was supposed to say at the beginning, which is one of the reasons is why we're doing this in the first place. It's because it's National Poetry Month. That's what April is. And we at the Virginia Children's Book Festival do have a hip hop and children's literature program that we love so much. And we really believe that hip hop is poetry. And so, children respond so well to rhyme and meter and beat that we just thought this was the great thing to do to engage some kids and spread a little hip hop love to the children's book world. So that's why I should have said that at the get-go, but of course I didn't. So here we are toward the end, and I'm telling you now. So anyway, I guess what we need to, this has been so fantastic, and I don't know if people want to, I'll share this and y'all can share it and people can comment and we'll see what they think. I mean, everything is so great right now. Oh, Katie Rhodes just commented and said, this makes my heart happy. Oh, y'all, look at y'all doing this together.
I do have a bonus surprise that I wanted to squeeze in here.
Oh, gosh.
This is one of the ones that didn't make it. But, as I was going through the books, we had just got the news of the passing of the rapper DMX. And it just occurred to me that this would go perfectly. I want to thank Ayana for actually giving me the idea that this book, Sheep in a Jeep, actually goes pretty perfectly to a DMX song. And it's very short. So I think if we could squeeze this in for 1 minute, I want to attempt to do this Sheep in a Jeep book in DMX's cadence over a DMX song. Can we do it?
I love that. A little known fact is I named my Jack Russell after a song of his years and years ago. Yes. Actually, I named her after the movie Belly. That was her name.
Wow.
I did, because when you're a dog for life.
I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna try.
I'm eating myself.
I'm gonna try Sheep in a Jeep. Let's see how this works. If anyone feels like I'm disrespecting DMX's legacy, please forgive me. I'm trying to pay homage here, and make it fun. Here we go. That's how we celebrate life. I gotta get my raspy voice on. Okay. Beep, beep, sheep in the Jeep on the hill to steep. Oh, oh, now the Jeep just won't go. Beep, beep, sheep in the Jeep on the hill. Oh, no, now the Jeep just won't go. Sheep think to push the Jeep, Jeep jump front. Sheep don't think to look up front. Jeep goes splash, Jeep goes thud. Jeep goes deep in gooey mud. Sheep tug, sheep shrug, sheep yelp, sheep get help. Sheep comes out, sheep shout, sheep cheer. Oh dear, I said sheep cheer. Oh dear, drive a sheep against the stairs. Jeep in the heat, sheep weak, sheep sweet the heat. Jeep for sale cheap. Beep, beep, sheep in the Jeep on the hill of steep. Oh, no, the Jeep just won't go. One more time. Beep, beep, sheep in the Jeep on the hill of steep. Oh, no, the Jeep just won't go. That's it.
I couldn't unmute myself fast enough to tell you how great that was.
That was awesome.
I tried.
Holy moly. Man, that was so good. People love it. And I will say that I've just had a request for virtual workshops for kids. So Malik, it looks like we've got our work cut out for us. And Mr. J, I think we could bring back some of your other books for some workshops if you're interested for kids.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I think this is a start of something beautiful. I don't know what y'all think, but I think so.
Well, you just let me know. Anything I can do to ever help kids, you just let me know and I'm there.
Oh gosh, we love to hear that. That's what we love. Oh gosh, y'all. I don't even know how to sign off from this.
I do want to thank Jay. Thank you, Jay, for showing up. Thank you for all of your kind words, all of your food for thought. And let's continue to keep in contact. I'll reach out to you after this.
Absolutely. And really, it's my pleasure to be here. And thank you for all the work you did on that rap. That was incredible. I want to see if I can just kind of grab that audio at some point. I'm going to put it on my phone. I want to listen to it as much as I can. I thought it was awesome. All three of them that you did. And Juanita, thank you very much for organizing this whole thing with Malik. And it's been a lot of fun.
Well, we'll get you down here one day when we can all get back together, and then you and Malik can meet in person and do something. That'd be an awesome workshop to do for kids. And I think you should make it. I think you should make your song your ringtone. I was going to say that. I think it should be your ringtone. All right, everybody. I mean, this is pretty amazing. I will say we will be back tomorrow with Malik 16, because if you didn't know it already, guess what? He's written a children's book of his own called I Grabbed the Mic, all about stage fright. I was fussing at him before we started because he said he was nervous. And I said, you're not supposed to be nervous. You wrote a book about being nervous. So we'll be back with him. Why don't you tell us a little bit about tomorrow, Malik?
Tomorrow, I'll be joined by the illustrator of my book, I Grabbed the Mic. We now have an ongoing Indiegogo campaign. So please feel free to support. Juanita's going to share the link on social media. If you're on my social media, I'm live right now. If you haven't supported, you can go click on the link. We're just trying to get a preliminary buzz out there and see who wants this in bookstores.
Well, we're going to do it. And as always, you can purchase Mr. J's books at your local independent bookseller. We love to support independent booksellers here. And our official bookseller, the Virginia Children's Book Festival, the official bookseller is Chop Suey Books in Richmond, Virginia. And you can certainly find them online, and they deliver. And you can make an appointment to come in to browse now in our COVID times. But please go out and get Mr. J's books. Tune back in tomorrow for more with Malik 16. And happy Hip Hop is Poetry Week, everybody. See you later.
Peace.
Bye.